Have you ever wondered why some people turn your dream to reality, while others spend their lives just wishing? The answer is in the habits. It is not about luck, talent, or even opportunities. It is about daily actions that build the way to success. While many wait for the perfect moment, filmmakers create their own destination with discipline, consistency, and focus. Imagine someone who wants to write a book, but never develops the habit of writing a little every day. Or someone who dreams of having a healthy body, but jumps training whenever you feel lazy. Which separates those who dream from those who perform are not large gestures, but small actions repeated over time. The secret is in persistence and construction of routines that drive progress. So if you want to stop just dreaming and start acting real, you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Thus, you do not lose any content that will help you create powerful habits and achieve your goals. Now, let's dive into the essential habits that differentiate dreamers from directors. Success does not come from isolated events or large explosions of effort, but from daily and consistent repetition. It is often easy to get carried away by the idea that we need a great effort at a specific time to achieve our goals. However, it is a consistency, the habit of moving on even when the motivation is low, which really brings lasting results. As the saying goes, the difference between a dream and its realization is consistency. Small daily habits, when repeated, accumulate great results over time. For example, if you only devote 15 minutes a day to study a new language, by the end of a year you will have accumulated hundreds of hours of learning. The secret is in continuity. Instead of looking for shortcuts, consistency teaches that true transformation happens gradually, but solidly. It's not about doing more in less time, but doing enough every day. Think of the simplest activities you already do automatically, such as brushing your teeth or stretching in the morning. These are perfect examples of how daily repetition builds habits that are part of our routine. Similarly, by incorporating productive habits into your day, you begin to see visible progress without the need for sudden great efforts. And in the end, you will realize that consistency is a key to achieving success, both in personal and professional goals. When we talk about success, many tend to think of great instant achievements. However, what really makes successful people stand out is the consistency in their actions. The example of big names like Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos shows that success is not the result of luck or a single master play, but the consistent application of principles over time. As Jim Rohn said, success is a natural consequence of consistent application of basic foundations. These successful figures understood that consistency generates results. Daily dedication to small actions builds a basis for great achievements. The same goes for any area of your life, whether at work, health, or personal development. When you commit to acting every day, even on difficult days, you begin to approach your goals. The secret is persistence, the ability to continue even when progress is not immediately visible. The impact of consistency goes beyond tangible results. It strengthens its mindset, increasing its confidence and ability to face challenges. In times of uncertainty or tiredness, consistency acts as a foundation, remembering that success is not built overnight. Each step taken, however small, is a fundamental part of the journey. And over time, these small efforts create a powerful transformation, raising you to new levels of fulfillment. Small daily actions may seem insignificant at first glance, but over time they create a cumulative effect that can transform your life in an extraordinary way. Imagine a snowball that starts with a small flake, and as it rolls, it gains strength and size. This is a consistency. You start with small steps, and over time these little habits turn into grand achievements. The trick is not to give up, even when the results are not immediate. The creation of consistent habits has a transforming power. By automating certain actions in your daily life, you reduce the need to use your willpower constantly. For example, by establishing a study routine, you already know what to do every day, which decreases procrastination. This allows you to focus on what really matters without distracting yourself with daily decisions. Thus, you create a more organized and less resistance life. In addition, consistency not only brings results, but strengthens its ability to overcome challenges. Instead of frustrating by not seeing immediate results, you learn to trust the process. When you keep focus and discipline, even when things do not happen at the rate you expect, perseverance becomes your ally. And it is this persistence, day after day, that makes the journey towards its most rewarding goals and, above all, possible. Habits are undoubtedly one of the greatest allies on the way to success. They form by repetition and, over time, become automatic, allowing you to achieve your goals without thinking twice. One of the most effective ways to integrate new habits into your life is through the habit stacking strategy, popularized by James Clear. This technique consists of adding a new habit to an existing routine. For example, if you already have a habit of having coffee every morning, you can pair this moment with reading practice, making reading a natural part of your day. Routines also play a key role in reducing decision fatigue. We all make numerous decisions throughout the day, which can result in mental exhaustion. When you organize your routine, it makes the day more predictable and efficient. This not only saves mental energy, but also helps to avoid procrastination, because actions become part of your day's natural flow. The routine creates a space where work and rest coexist, promoting balance and productivity. Examples of successful people, such as CEOs and athletes, often include morning routines that optimize their day and guarantee consistency in their habits. Some may start the day with meditation, reading, or even a slight walk. These small habits help keep the mind clear, the body energized, and the focus goals. If you want to be more productive, consider setting a routine that pushes you to action early on, establishing a positive pattern that is reflected throughout the rest of the day. Accompanying your habits and progress towards your goals is one of the most effective ways to maintain motivation high. When you monitor your actions, you see how you have advanced, which generates a positive emotional impetus. This not only keeps the focus, but also helps to correct the trajectory if something is leaving the tracks. Tools such as progress diaries or habits tracking applications can be very useful for maintaining this control. They allow you to see the actual impact of your daily efforts and provide a clear view of where you need to improve. A famous example of progress monitoring comes from comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who used the "don't break the chain" method. He marked an X on a calendar every day that was fulfilled his goal of writing a joke. Seeing the chain of consecutive days growing, he was motivated not to break the flow. This simple method creates a visual effect that makes progress tangible and motivating. The idea of not breaking the chain can be extremely powerful to maintain consistency. However, monitoring is not just about seeing the numbers and statistics. It also serves as a reminder that success comes from continuous and consistent actions. This helps to adjust expectations and maintain a positive mindset, even when the results take time to appear. Progress is a journey, and by monitoring it, you keep on the right track and avoid falling into the trap of frustration. When you celebrate every little milestone, you reinforce the belief that change is happening. It is natural that throughout the journey you face obstacles. Lack of motivation, unforeseen everyday life, or even tiredness can challenge your consistency. However, the key to overcoming these obstacles is not to allow them to become excuses to give up. Instead of waiting for perfect days, understand that life is made of ups and downs, and that you can continue your journey even when conditions are not ideal. True strength comes from resilience, the ability to continue even in the face of difficulties. Principle 80-20, for example, teaches us that instead of seeking perfection, we should focus on being present most of the time. It is not necessary to be 100% consistent every day. The important thing is to continue the process and, when falling, getting up and moving on. The goal is not to do everything all right all the time, but to do the best possible with what you are currently. This is vital to maintaining your motivation and preventing a mistake or slip from becoming an insurmountable barrier. Jim Rohn said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievements." This means that when you understand the importance of consistency and self-discipline, even obstacles become only transient parts of the journey. Each overcome challenge strengthens its determination and ability to move on. Instead of giving up after an error, use it as a lesson to adjust your approach. True victory is persisting and remaining compromised regardless of adversities. Maintaining motivation is undoubtedly one of the biggest challenges throughout the journey towards our goals. At first, enthusiasm can be great, but over time, tiredness and lack of immediate results can begin to undermine this energy. The key to sustaining motivation is to understand the why behind each goal. When you are clear about the reasons that drive you, obstacles become less intimidating. Think of something you really want and ask yourself, what will this bring to my life? This clear view helps keep focus even on the most difficult days. Another effective trick to maintain motivation is to break large goals in small steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of the goal, focus on the next step in the next small advance. Each little achievement helps to maintain the pace and feeds the desire to continue. Tony Robbins has said, "People are not lazy, they just have little inspiring goals." When your goals are broken into smaller and achievable actions, you keep the focus and energy you need to move on. One of the biggest traps is a temptation to pursue multiple goals at the same time. This can dilute your energy and make it difficult to maintain focus. Therefore, by setting your goals, prioritize one thing at a time and completely focus on it. This not only increases your chances of success, but also helps keep your mind focused on what really matters. Maintaining motivation and focus is a constant exercise, but by applying these strategies, you remain on the right track to achieve amazing results. The success of big names in the business world and entertainment is not an accident. It is a result of continuous and consistent work. A classic example of this is Elon Musk. He is known for his unshakable dedication, working long hours and devoting himself to creating companies that have revolutionized the market. Through his consistency in seeking innovation, Musk not only built successful companies, but also created a legacy in the technology sector. His journey was not easy, but his discipline and commitment to long-term vision helped him achieve extraordinary levels of success. Another inspiring example comes from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Before reaching world fame as an actor, The Rock dedicated years of hard and persistent work in professional struggle and physical training. Consistency in his daily training routine and dedication to personal development has turned him into one of Hollywood's best-known figures. Today, it is an example of how continuous effort, combined with resilience and self-discipline, can lead to success. The Rock is a true example of how daily persistence and constant action create great results. These examples show us that success is not something that happens overnight, but the product of a daily and constant job. If you have big dreams, it is your consistency that will keep you on the right track, even when the results seem distant. By adopting the same mentality of perseverance, you begin to build your own path of success step by step. Mastery in any area is achieved through intentional repetition and continuous improvement. It is not enough just to do something for a long time. It is necessary to perform these actions with the intention of constantly improving. Malcolm Gladwell's famous 10,000-hour rule reminds us that to achieve the level of excellence in any field, we need to invest time and effort consistently. However, more than hours, it is the quality of practice that makes a difference. Consistency with focus on improvement leads to dominion and true mastery. It is easy to believe that only talent is necessary to be excellent in something. However, consistency is the true secret behind the exceptional achievements. People such as the greatest musicians, athletes, or professionals in various areas have not been there where they're by chance, but for a constant and disciplined practice, always seeking to improve their results. Repeating action is not enough. It is necessary to incorporate learning and adaptation in the daily process. Simon Sinek, in one of his lectures, said, "Confidence comes from consistency. This does not only apply to how others perceive you, but also how you see yourself. Constant practice and discipline not only create competence, but also generate confidence in their skills. When you practice something every day, you begin to see results and believe in your potential, which strengthens your journey towards mastery. Implementing consistency in your life begins with the definition of clear goals. Without a direction, it's easy to get lost along the way. Ask yourself, what do you want to achieve and why is this important? Once you have clarity about your goals, create a plan with actionable and specific steps. By dividing your great goals into smaller tasks, you make progress more manageable and less intimidating, allowing you to stay motivated with each little achievement. The next step is to start with small habits that you can sustain in the long run. Don't try to change everything at once. If your goal is to improve health, for example, start with 15 minutes of daily walking and gradually increases. The key is in daily repetition. Even the smallest steps, when done consistently, lead to great results. Over time, these habits become part of your routine, and you won't need so much conscious effort to follow them. Also, monitoring your progress is essential. Use tools such as applications or a simple calendar to track your actions. As we saw with Jerry Seinfeld's example, visualizing progress can be extremely motivating. Follow your results, celebrate small victories, and when obstacles appear, adjust your approach without frustrating. Consistency is a continuous journey, so enjoy every step taken and use errors as learning to improve in the future. Now that you know the secret behind the habits that turn dreamers into directors, the real question is, how will all this apply to your life? Do not expect a perfect time or the instant motivation to start. Remember that success does not happen overnight. It comes from small daily actions, consistency, and persistence. You don't have to be perfect, you just need to be compromised. Every small step you take today will be a significant advance in building your future. Do not underestimate the power of daily habits. They're the foundation on which every great success is built. Throughout this journey, the challenges will appear, but it is your ability to persist that will make all the difference. You may have failed a few times in the past, but this is not a reflection of what you can achieve in the future. Each error is an opportunity for learning, and the real power is to learn from them, adjust, and continue. The key is not to stop, not discouraged, and remember that the results arise not from occasional effort, but continuous dedication and daily work. Now is the time to make a decision. Will you continue to wait for something to happen, or will act now so that your transformation really starts? A director's journey starts with the first step, and I believe you are ready to start. If you want to continue the journey of success, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Do not miss the next content that will help you turn your dreams into reality with consistent actions and habits. Let's build the future you deserve together.